body will be right for this week, and I'll get a good week of training in. Yeah, really looking forward to getting out again and helping the boys get a win.
And up goes Dustin Fletcher, 20 years in the game.
This week on Out of the Bag,
we go back to round 17 in 1999.
Lloyd regains his footing. Out of the air.
3, 2, 1, it is over.
Well, as a coach, you're disappointed for James Hird, but your team's done absolutely everything. So in terms of effort, they gave their absolute effort tonight, the Bombers, and he'd be bitterly disappointed. In the same way, he'd be really proud of his players.
Yeah, look, we're happy. Come over here with the team that we had with so many players out was you'd have to be fairly happy as an Essendon supporter. And I think that's all the sort of hurt he really wants. Sometimes you can't win every game, but if you play with spirit and you're competitive and you make it hard for the opposition to do what they want to do, then you can still be a bit proud. We just want to build on tonight's game. We want to come out and play exactly the way we did early and for a longer period of time. And when the game gets tight, still be able to sort of play with our instinctiveness and come home with a victory. There's still, 4 games, and we're confident that if we can build on tonight's form, get a few players back, we can have a real crack. So the Premiership team from now has got to play for 8 more games, and that's a lot of footy.
I was 34 when I came to the club. I'm 75 now, so I've had a number of jobs. Came as a runner, then I did a second runner's job. I used to run messages as a trainer. Got in a bit of trouble for that. And then Sheed said, well, you better stop doing that because we get fined so you can do the interchange. And, a few years ago we had to write down every player's number that was coming on and going off, and we had to get a clearance from the AFL before they could do that. And there were people running all over the place. Coaches changed their mind about who's coming on, and so that they stopped that. They decided it didn't matter who was there, as long as there was only 18 players on the ground. And you get someone like Joe Watson, all he wants to do is get on the ground, and he'll take you with him if you're hanging on to him. So I don't do that. I just do my best to stop them going over the line. I've always supported Essendon, of course. So as a kid, and I was doing a bit of professional running, went up to Stawell, ran into Des Tudman and suggested that he might need a runner. He'd just started the coaching, and he said, yeah, come along. So I went there in 1972 and I've been there ever since. Well, for me, the 80s were really terrific. I ran for some really good coaches. I thought Barry Davis was before his time. I ran for him and Bill Stevens and obviously Tuddy, and then Sheeds came along and changed it all. I really believe he taught us how to win. So, he taught us to be professional. We'd been down for so long, and then 83 we got our pants pulled down by Hawthorn, and that was pretty hard to cop. And then to get up in 84 and 85, was great. When Hirdy was appointed coach, I threw a party. It was, something that I really wanted to happen, and it did. And, I just want him to get a flag now. Yeah, we have got a great bond, Hirdy and I. He came to the club in 91, and, we just sort of clicked together, and yeah, we've got a bond together. We're friends. I've had a terrific ride with him. When James broke the navicular in his foot, he was sort of out for, I don't know, a season virtually, and it was gut-wrenching for him, and it was gut-wrenching for me. So he pushed on with it. He never went backwards. He never believed that he wouldn't play again. He came out on crutches one night, and I thought, what's he doing? Out at training, and put the crutches on the ground and knelt down and said, "Hoops, I want you to kick the ball to me." And I just thought he'd gone mad. I said, "Don't be stupid, James, you can't do that." And we called the doc over, Reedy, and he said, "Yeah, you can do that if long as he's got no weight on his feet, so he's fine on his knees." So we spent a season doing that, and it was just incredible. So this has got a great story, this jumper. Heard he took it off into rooms when he played his 250th game and gave it to me. And Barb was going to wash it, and my son walked in and said, "Hey, you don't wash it, we need to frame it." So he took it away to get it framed over in Kew, and the shop was robbed. And that jumper went with the robbers. So I thought that was the end of that, but a few weeks later the police rang and said, "We've got your jumper." I got it back and there it is. Yeah, we're MCG, Collingwood game, 10 years ago, going out Saturday night, went to run out behind them to do the warm-up on the ground and virtually collapsed. So pretty lucky to be at the MCG. If you're going to have a heart attack, I'm sure that's the place to have it. So there's a paramedic outside the door, and Rudy grabbed me and had people all around me, and they worked on me and off to Epworth. Operated on straight away. I was lucky there was a cardiologist there, put a stent in my heart, and I watched the last quarter on television. Heard he was in that game, and he was first in to see me the next day at Epworth, and he bought me a bunch of flowers, but don't tell anyone that.
Each week, your votes on essendonfc.com.au decide the true value bomber of the round. The round 19 nominations are Courtney Dempsey's four-quarter effort, providing defensive pressure around the contests and much-needed firepower up forward.
Dempsey's been able to drift, and he's a dangerous man. Courtney Dempsey, under 3 minutes remaining. He goes for broke. It's a terrific kick from Dempsey. He comes up with a little something.
The evergreen Jobe Watson playing his 150th game, gathering 31 possessions, giving Bombers fans another display with an outstanding captain's performance.
Jacobs goes up, but Watson forces his way through, gets it forward again.
And Jake Carlisle's tireless effort in defence, repelling just about everything in his path and taking 5 big marks.
Taylor Walker didn't fly for it in the end. That's a good grab from Carlisle.
Congratulations to this week's winner, Isabel L. Haig of Essendon in Victoria, who correctly voted for Courtney Dempsey as the True Value Bomber. Isabel will now go into the season's draw for the True Value Solar Package, worth $3,000. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
I think 99, the Bombers were the best, most consistent side over that whole year. I loved the rivalry we had, and we always played big games.